Something different for today's video. Basically, Sandbox released, and I just had like a 5-hour stream, just playing tons of games and that. It's very good, and all of that will be turned into a video in itself. But I didn't really have that much time to record the Rust Workshop skin checks. So you know what? Maybe it's pretty clever to go ahead and try and do something different. You can offer your opinion if you appreciate this, okay? I am only going to discuss the collection continuations. You, the viewer, you can still look in the description right now. Look at the very top. You see the collection link for the Rust Workshop skin checks for April 28, 2026. And you could go look at all of these skins in your own time. You have that freedom. But me, for this video, I'm only going to talk about the collection continuations today. And if you prefer this compared to normal, because of course we might only be here for about half as much time compared to the usual 1 hour and 20 minutes, comment below. Tell me if you prefer it this way. Right, so due to circumstances where I'm up super late and I can't be loud and I don't want to wake up my roommates, I just want to keep this straightforward. Sounds good? Let's get started with deployables. First up, we have the Space Station Electric Furnace. So don't forget, electric furnaces are for May Force Wipe. When the May update goes through, then we get the skins. So you're not going to see this with the next Rust Store. You've got to wait until next week. I know it's a bit of a tease, but what we happen to have right here is a collection continuation. You might recall we had that barbecue recently. Space Station Barbecue, boom. Now right now that's actually one of the better performing barbecues. Produced by Mishka and Svonspa. Look at that. A lot of these Space Station themed skins have actually done quite nicely. I very much am under the impression that also do very nicely as well. It's up to Face Punch at the end of the day what gets accepted. But that barbecue might be bouncing up a little bit higher. Now unfortunately they did not add a collection link, but you can just look at their previous skins. Oh, look at that naval camo. Wow. But just like Space Station skins in general have been doing super good. There's no one whole collection. There's just multiple skin creators kind of doing the same theme. And people just been buying them regardless. So that'd be a welcome addition. Let's keep an eye out for that. Best luck to Mishka and Svonspa. Let's see if we can get a space-themed electric furnace. So, alright, cool. Barbecue probably would be a good consideration. But to be honest with you, all of the space-themed skins have been doing quite good regardless. And, well, might be a little bit too pricey. It's up to you though. So, alright, cool. Oh! What do we have right here? Oh, you know. It just happens to be the wrought iron table and chair that I asked for. Yeah. I don't think he wants to do the vending machine. I did ask him about that. He was like, maybe, we'll see. But that looks nice. And we don't get many chairs and we don't get many tables. In fact, just to clarify, what was the last marketable table skin we got? 2017? 2017. That was a special Twitch drop. So, considering wrought iron large boxes right here, you can't see it, my head's in the way. There you go. Priced at $3. It's selling okay, but compared to the other wrought iron skins, let's just get a good look at you. Well, with the arrival of this, a good week or two ago, these weren't looking very good. They were retaining, but they weren't really in the positive. This appears, oh, everything's all right now. If we see either or both the chair and table, I think you might be looking at all of these rising up in price very, very nicely. However, I don't imagine it would be ridiculously high. However, collectively as a whole, do you reckon this whole set will be greatly appreciated as we go through the summertime? When kids are out of school, around July and August time, do you reckon these will peak to a very nice price? What do you reckon? I'm considering it. I am thinking about it. I do happen to have quite a lot of those lockers, for example. So, it's definitely an interesting thing to consider. But regardless, chair and table, oh, well, that looks very shiny, very nice. And I've already put out a short video showcasing them. So, what do you reckon? It looks a lot better compared to the previous chair skin we saw. In ways. It looks cleaner. I'm not wrong. So, alright, cool. We'll see what becomes of that, but it is looking interesting. And I'm sure the collection will be appreciating that. Now over to here, we actually have two barbecue skins, Biohazard and Bamboo BBQ. Let's go with that. This is an interesting approach, and this is an interesting glow-in-the-dark approach. Look at that slime. So, with a bit of transparency, he's made it look as if it's like stringy. But that's cool. So, okay. Biohazard bunker. Do you remember? Biohazard bunker garage door. Boom. That sold for $2.49. It hasn't recovered. But will it recover now? I will point out, the skin creators have tried. They certainly have tried to make collection continuations in the past, but unfortunately, well, no success until now. Potentially, okay? So, let's just quickly refresh. Put the extension on. Let's just get a quick look at you. Have people noticed there's a collection continuation in the workshop? Have they been buying it out today? I can confirm to you it hasn't really changed. Not really. But if it were to be accepted, I think that might be going up in price quite nicely. So, simply with the arrival of a barbecue, we could then actually have a collection. I think there's some nice potential there. I'm also noticing the skin creators aren't making a collection. That might be why you're not getting your skins accepted. Sorry to sound mean, but, you know, I'm just saying. So what do you think? Would you like a nice and slimy glow-in-the-dark barbecue? Would you appreciate that because you mainly are invested into the garage door? Hey, you can comment below what you think, but that does look nice. So, best luck to Fresh and Somebody Stop Me. But you do have competition. So again, it's another attempt for our very transparent barbecue. It's the barbecue, and you might recall last week we had the grill. Well, same thing here. It looks cool. It looks nice. It doesn't look like it should work considering it's made out of bamboo. Does bamboo burn? Does it burn easily? Are there real life bamboo barbecues? It sounds weird to say. Not sure. But so bamboo collection. Let's get a quick look at you. Bamboo cage collection is the actual name. Only one of the skins is in the positive. Whilst both of these did have a bit of a boost, thanks to Mr. Silver Spooks, it's not really holding. I'm not sure if a barbecue would actually change that much, but I think independently, I think a lot of people would actually appreciate that interesting design, that interesting approach. Compared to all the other barbecues, that is pretty unique. What are your thoughts? We did see something very similar last week, but we haven't seen either of them being accepted yet. So we'll see what happens next. Feel free to comment below your thoughts. Feel free to comment below what you think about this, and feel free to comment below if you like it. So best luck to Corey and Sodsender. I think the storages would appreciate more skins being accepted, and they certainly have tried. Unfortunately, they haven't been super successful. So we'll see what happens next. Keep an eye out. This is a resubmission. I have seen this before. It is the Señor Tomato fridge. It doesn't glow in the dark if I can recall. In fact, it would have shown it by now. But yeah, no glow, much like what we saw with all the previous Señor Tomato skins. Señor Tomato is a very, very silly collection. I've got nothing against it. It keeps getting acceptances. The skin creator is doing something correct. When we see a new skin being accepted, all of it just goes up in price. All of it. Yeah, simple as that. Just all of it. More specifically, if we were to see the fridge, I think the garage door would be doing better. I think the sheep in the door would be doing better. I think you're better off looking at the furnace as well. Furnace and garage door. If you were to make an investment, if you truly feel confident we'll actually see the fridge being accepted this time, that'll probably be the ones to chase after. The weapons, they're not looking very secure. But everything else, more so, yes. And we still keep seeing them being accepted. They persevere. They can't be stopped. Are you a fan of design? Feel free to comment below, and best luck to Sapesh. So, keep an eye out. Hologram Sleeping Bag. So last week we saw the bed, and we've actually got a second version. Emission Boost. I don't know, I guess it looks more blue. I'm not sure, but it does have some transparency. It does look cool. Unfortunately, the bed wasn't accepted immediately, but there wasn't a single early pick last week. Well, with the most recent Rustor. That bed is still viable. So the only thing to really consider is what to expect with this furnace. It has gone down in price slightly, but there are still possibilities of seeing a collection continuation. You've just seen the second possibility. Either one, if either of them were to be accepted, I could imagine that would be going up in price quite nicely. I think that would be happening. It's not too ridiculous. The listings are quite thin. It's looking pretty viable, just saying. We need to see it happen though. For all the recent transparent furnaces, I don't think we saw a single one with an actual collection continuation after it. So, for your consideration. Regardless, best luck to Michael, Montana and CD. Let's see if we can get the sleeping bags accepted. They do look nice, but gotta wait and see. Curse of the Drowned Treasure Furnace Barrel. So yeah, Curse of the Drowned collection. A very cool looking furnace. That does look nice. The money on the top as well. Very, very interesting touch. Produced by Zinc and FM. And of course, you might recall we've had the previous skins. The small box, the sleeping bag. Why not a furnace? So let's go ahead and look at the Curse of the Drowned set. Curse of the... Is it going to have it? Curse of the... Okay. Let's just go to February Forthright. We'll find the small box, and then we'll work from there. Curse of the Drowned chest. Okay, there you go. Both of them not looking super pretty. Although, I was expecting the sleeping bag to end up at around $2. I do anticipate it rebounding and going up in price ever so nicely when times are good again. And to be honest with you, right now, times are looking pretty good. Prices in general are looking pretty good. We are seeing a lot of positivity. We are seeing prices improve for a lot of skins. I think you're better off looking at the sleeping bag instead of the small box. Small box looks fine. That only did just over 10,000 subscribers, and this did just over 30,000 subscribers. There's a lot more of that compared to that. Yeah, so that's definitely the much better approach. So, okay, cool. And regardless, right, it is expected that the sleeping bag was going to do better anyway. Glow-in-the-dark sleeping bags are appreciated. Okay, cool. Well, regardless, do you like what you see? Are you a fan? Feel free to comment below, and best of luck to the skin creators. A sort of collection continuation, a pseudo collection continuation. You might recall in the past, we had the twig doors, the wood doors, you know, basically, you might recall we had the tugboat door, we had the Adobe sheet metal door. Well, that was obviously made in reference to the brand new Adobe building skin. Guess what's coming? Guess what is expected for May Forthright? Crypt building skin. So now there's a Crypt sheet metal door. I will sit here and say though, I don't think. So let's just go over to here. How might we view this? Adobe door? Is that how I'm going to go? I think all I need to do is look at the skin creator. There you go. Click that. Boom. I don't think people are going to look at all of these and say, yeah, that's a collection. No. But I thought I should bring it up. Freddy and Krueger are back, and they're trying to make a very cool, interesting looking disguised door. I'm just not 100% sure people are going to bite. You know how I recently talked about the base doors, base small boxes? The base boxes, in the past we had the wood base, stone box base and whatnot. We saw some adapted alternate designs. Still connected, but not directly a collection continuation. Regardless, are you a fan of what you see? Do you like it? I don't think anything's going to spark a spark price if that were to appear. But I do believe a lot of people would appreciate it. Have you seen dungeon skins recently? You know what? Let's just go on a side tangent. All of that's getting bought out. I saw the garage door. It's just magically gone up like twice, like double in price. Look at all of it. Look at all of it. Simply because of the Crypt building skin. $9. Well then, that's nice. That's lovely. Cool. So alright then. Moving on. Flamebearer sheet metal door. Last week I forgot to talk about the garage door. Or rather, I somehow skipped it. It was supposed to be there. It was in the collection. I just somehow skipped it in the video. I sincerely apologise to Nui, because that looks cool. The garage door looked cool. I made sure to make a short video of it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm on fire. Do, 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 do. Boo, boo, boo. All right, moving on. So, this is a very interesting artistic approach, and this is a perfectly fine looking sheet metal door. A perfectly fine door with a lovely bit of glow in the dark. Now, would this actually cause the wooden door to spike in demand, spike in price if this were to be accepted? I'm going to be real with you. I don't think so. Why? What's wrong? There's nothing wrong with it. It's because it's a wooden door. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Already gone down in price. It hasn't gone down dramatically bad, but I don't really expect it to recover that much either. It looks cool. It looks nice. But I've seen many wooden doors also looking very nice. Also looking really cool. They still went down in price. Unfortunately, that just might end up going all the way down to less than $1. I don't really want to see it happen, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it does. Let's see what happens next. It's not got tons of listings. It has got it's still got some pretty good buy orders. It's just, you know, a wooden door. But we'll see, all right? Not hating, just trying to be realistic with you, okay? So we'll see, we'll see what's made next. Honestly, a wooden double door. Nui? It's perfect timing for it. We'll see what you want to do. So best luck to you, good sir. Best luck to you, good sir. No, sorry, I lost my tongue there. Well, what do we have right here? And yeah, he actually submitted the skin so I can talk about it. Gothic Veil Garage Door. I think there's 2 versions. Let's just confirm that. Nope, just one. I think he's submitted twice by accident. Anyway, we've seen the sheet metal double door. The very next week, we see the single sheet metal door. And then, potentially, the very next week, maybe, we could have the garage door. If that were to happen, I think the sheet metal double door is only going to go up even higher in price. Not sure what to expect with the single door, where are we? So that's $3.64 on the Steam market right now. Very nice. What about the sheet metal door? To be honest with you, I have seen some pretty interesting deployable collections in the past, and the sheet metal door still goes down in price. I'm a bit unsure, but it also hasn't really sold that much either. So we'll see what becomes of that, but that's definitely a question for tomorrow when we do the abnormal barders, right? I'm not sure what to say. Sheet metal double door, I was fine. I was just fine to buy it regardless because it's a sheet metal double door. Sheet metal doors, however, unfortunately, they do not retain their value very nicely. All I'm going to do is just take a look and see, and boom. Unless it's got an anime girl in it, it's not looking very pretty. Let me just say that. Also transparency. And tomatoes, apparently. Yes. Yes. Cool. Right, so we'll see what that is like, but I'm having doubts. Got nothing against it. That's a cool looking garage door. That glow is also very, very cool. Independently, I think that's got a very good shout. I don't think it's going to help the sheet metal door that much. But the sheet metal double door, yeah, he's going to greatly appreciate that. And it wouldn't surprise me if it boosts all the way up to $5 and more. So, best of luck to you, good sir. That's a very nice looking design. And for last, for the deplorables, we have the Apotheosis of War Armored Door. That is a very nice glow-in-the-dark approach. And just to point out, 2 different images, because Armored Door has 2 separate sides. Sheet metal doors would just use the same thing twice. You got the guy sprawled out. Oh, is he giving up? I don't know. And he's got like the deadly wasteland. Like, that's a cool looking Armored Door. So it doesn't really highlight the seam where the hatch is. Not sure if that's really a talking point. But it does look cool. It does look pretty sweet. And I can't help but assume people probably want to see some more Apotheosis of War skins. Now, if I were to look at them, you'd think, well, but again, the timing of acceptances. Both of them appeared basically during the Easter dip. This appeared when the Armored Double Door was the focused item of the month. Basically, we were going to see a lot of them being produced, a lot of them being accepted. That's exactly what happened, and quite a lot of them did suffer because of that. But if we do keep seeing more interesting designs being produced, and hopefully accepted, you should expect that to recover regardless. I could still see that happen with the Armored Double Door, but with the bed, the only issue with the bed is that it was sold at a high price. $3.49 is quite a lot. Not too many people are going to just sit there and say, I'll happily buy that, no problem, no issue. It's not like we're struggling for options for beds either. But still, I expect both of those skins to have a very nice time if we were to see at least a new skin being accepted. Both of them are still looking very nice. And let's just get a quick look at the bed. I want to see how many of them are currently listed. I can see there's only 18. That's it. That's it. Maybe one brand new skin and suddenly it's all back to normal. Like, you're looking at about 5, 6 sales, or maybe more like 9. Point still remains. Only a few sales, and then everything should be right. 9 is few? Yeah. Shh. Oh, no, sorry. So, that's looking nice. What do you think, though? Best luck to Icona. It's looking pretty sweet. Keep up the good work. Let's now move on and talk about the weapons and the tools collection continuations. And it's the return of Toy Collection. I really would like to see the ice pick as well. Anyway, Salvaged Axe. It is the brand new Skinnable. Sorry about that. Currently right now. I'm not sure if we're going to have a week where we see 2 Salvaged Axes, but it wouldn't surprise me if it does happen. It also wouldn't surprise me if we still see these being accepted as we go through May. I mean, it's not like it's never going to get another skin accepted ever again. But Toy Collection, well, let's go ahead and take a quick look at you. Toy Collection, right. Well then, it's alright. It's not the best. Look at the weapons specifically. Not all of them are A-OK, but like the Jackham's doing alright. Thompson's doing alright. Sab's doing alright. Revolver's doing alright. You know, Water Pipe's doing alright. Not really sure what to think here. There were attempts for like the actual tools in the past. Maybe that could get resubmitted. But if that does get accepted, do not be surprised that happens. And again, don't be surprised of Ice Pick as well. I don't think it's going to have a massive impact on the pre-existing skins. I don't think it will change that much. It would be cool to see. And you know what? Whilst we're here, Toy Collection, what do you still need? Can we get another attempt for the hoodie and pants? Please. And some boots, please. It'll be nice, please. Anyway, that'd be cool. That'd be nice, but you'd have to ask him. So, best luck to Little Ranger. Let's see what becomes of that. And yeah, that's a perfectly fine looking Salvaged Axe. A very unique approach. I'm sure a lot of people will, appreciate that. Do you know what people would probably appreciate as well? Another HellCore weapon skin with a very interesting amount of transparency. Oh, okay. So, I've made a short video of this comparing to Stinger. I'm sure you remember Stinger. Have you seen Stinger crossbow recently? Oh, that sold for $2, didn't it? Yep, $2. I have 75 of these. I'm so happy. Why? Because on the Steam market right now, it's $5.50. What? Yep. Just sitting, waiting. It's now $5+. What? Yes. So, okay, that's cool. I should probably sell some just in case. Anyway, based on what we see there, I'm a little bit concerned with the possibility of seeing a HellCore crossbow. Because of I spelled that wrong. Because, of course, if we get competition, if we get another option for a transparent view on a crossbow, well, that's going to take away a lot of the interest that we have with the Stinger crossbow. Now, looking at the collection, well, bow is slightly down, MP5 is down by a quarter, L96 is down by half, AK-47 is basically down by half. But SAR's still doing good and pushing up in price. People are appreciating that. Thompson's doing good. $9. Thank you very much. Custom SMG is also holding up very nicely as well. Transparent aim sight. People like, people appreciate. People were appreciating the HellCore collection, but suddenly we've stopped. We saw a very cool looking revolver being produced. We saw some very nice looking hoodie and pants. Tier 3, you name it. None of it was accepted. For now. But if we do see the crossbow at the very least, I think you might see more of this get a boost. I think you'll see that rise up in price quite nicely. So HellCore, we'll see what becomes of that. And keep an eye out for my short video. I do a comparison. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Nuke Vibe MP5. So Nuke Vibe collection's not in demand, sorry to say. But hey, I'm sure people are still out there appreciating it. Face Punch is accepting them for a reason. It's not in demand. I'm sorry to say. Like, in general, MP5s are also a bit questionable. Take a look at this. And what do you see? Well, Considering the recent Twitch drops we got, I don't think people are screaming and shouting for the possibility of wanting to get a brand new MP5, unless it has an anime girl on it. So, yeah, it's a bit questionable how well that's going to do. But at the very least, it's still a nice looking design. Props to the skin creators. They're putting out the work. Looks nice. I'm sure people would still like it. It's just, I don't think it's going to cause the pre-existing skins to spike in price that much. Sorry to say. But regardless, best of luck to both of you. Honestly, could you try again for a sheet metal double door? I think you can make a very cool, scary looking face with that. Chrome Wave Thompson. So I'm sure you might recall we've had some interesting skins being submitted, but only the double barrel shotgun was accepted. Well, that's a pretty cool looking Thompson. And could we aim down the sight? Yes, we can. That's an interesting metallic design with a very useful red aim sight. Chrome Wave. Let's go get a good look at you. There you are, double barrel shotgun. Unfortunately, it's a double barrel shotgun. Take one quick look at all the skins recently. Oh dear. So that's the state of double barrel shotguns. And are you surprised to find out this is selling for less than $1? Yeah, that's 89 cents. And it's only sold 2 in the past 24 hours. Oh boy. So I don't think a Thompson's going to really fix that. It will turn into a weapon-only collection, and it's already not really holding up very well. It's going to be a bit questionable. Regardless, that's still a very nice-looking Thompson. I think a lot of people might appreciate that. So, best luck to Bit. Let's see if that works out nicely. And, hey, what do you think? What's your opinion? Feel free to comment below. Now, over to here, we've got the oil pump shotgun. In fact, we've got a select few interesting collection continuations for pump shotguns. A very interesting batch. But let's go through them one by one. Oil King pump shotgun. Collection continuation to the AK-47 we saw somewhat recently. I think the same would apply. Basically, it's just continuing from the other previous weapon, that of course being the AK-47. I'm just trying to find the AK here. Arr, there you are. That sold for $2. It's now selling for less than $1. We have far too many AK-47 skins. They don't hold up their value very nicely anymore. Same would apply based on what we just talked about with the Chrome Wave Thompson. So, first of all, let's just get a good look at it, because that is a nice looking skin. I think a lot of people would actually greatly appreciate something like that. And you should be fully well aware the focused item of the month for May 2026 is the pump shotgun. So that is why we've seen a lot of submissions recently, and that is why we have a lot of collection continuations. Do not be surprised at the possibility that we have 2 in a single rustor, right? That very likely could be happening. Pump shotguns in general, though, we don't get many of them. But we do get them every now and then. And, well, last year we actually got quite a lot. Only one of them's in the positive. 1 year before that, though, all of these are still doing all right. These are a bit questionable. Oof. Don't assume something that rarely gets skins accepted are instantly going to go up in value. Look at Flame Anarchy from earlier this year. Ooh. So collection continuations are nice. Still not 100% convinced, especially considering the AK hasn't done very well. So we'll see. Now, of course, we have the old pirate pump shotgun, an interesting green design, and we have had some other skins being accepted. We've had a Python, we've had a revolver. That's got a bit of transparency, does it? Does it? That's not transparent. No. It would say as well. That's just what it normally looks like. The Python and the revolver had transparency. I thought maybe we could see something similar. Yeah. Anyway, old pirate collection. The revolver was doing a little bit better. In fact, it's actually pushing up to $4 now. Oh, wow. That actually has improved. Wow. Python, not so much. We have far too many options now for transparent aim sight Pythons. So based on what we're looking at here, this might be the better option, but then again, it's already gone up in price. You probably have missed out. If you didn't jump in when this was in the rush store, I don't know what to say. But the people that are dumping big fat stacks of quantity, looks like that's slowly starting to disappear. If you are the guy with 30 right here, I think you are better off removing that. Because considering Olympus revolver suddenly started going back up in price and reaching back up to where it was before we saw this appear, I think that might be doing a lot better. Just saying. Anyway, I don't think the pump shotgun would change that much because it's already doing good. But with the Python, So, hey, regardless, do you like what you see? Are you a fan? Let's keep an eye out. Maybe we might be seeing some odd pirate skins being accepted. And that does look like a very nice pump shotgun. Props to Kavahu. And then over to here, collection continuation to the somewhat recent Sunbaked Salvaged axe. What do you mean somewhat recent? It's literally in the current rust, all right? Yep, yes it is. Look at that. That's a question for tomorrow. Because, of course, Salvaged axes, well, if we suddenly start seeing a lot more of them being accepted, are all of these going to go down in price? By default, it wouldn't surprise me if it happens. But is it definitely going to happen? Last week's skin is still holding up in value, still retaining. That's a question for tomorrow, all right? So it's nice to see a collection continuation. It's nice to see an effort to continue it. It's just, I can't give you a solid answer until I get a good, proper look at the final potential sales. You get the idea. And yeah, in about 22 hours from now, I really should go to bed. So, all right, cool. We'll see what that becomes. And yeah. Black Gold SKS. I made a short video with a very good question. What now happens with all the SKSs with standard aim sights? It's going to happen. We're going to see a lot more of them being accepted still. But considering the Redemption SKS right here, it's selling reasonably. It's still likely going to reach over 25,000 subscribers potentially. But it is the only transparent aim sight we know of. But I have noticed recently, if you go to the workshop, there apparently might be a drop on the horizon because Dylan Zito, Recoy, why do they have an SKS right there? Why is it just suddenly there? I don't know what it's for, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's for something in which you're going to get that for absolutely free. And lo and behold, oh look, transparent aim sight. So, okay, understood. But back over to here. That's still a very nice looking SKS. It's all nice and gold, but it is a standard aim sight. So I'm just not really sure if the collection itself could, like, give it a boost. Is it going to help it? It's fine for what it is. It looks nice. Props to the skin creators. Bad Trip, Hulk. What a surprise. They've made another very cool looking skin. They always do. They're consistent with their quality. It is nice. It is shiny. It is gold. Black Gold collection though. Let's go ahead and take a look at you. Boom. I mean, it's not struggling. It's looking pretty good. Not every single weapon skin's doing A-okay there, though, is it? No. We'll see how it goes then. But I am questioning it specifically because it's an SKS, and how many SKSs have we seen already? Yeah. We're very likely to keep seeing this happen. A lot more very likely will be accepted in the near future. But the rest of this year, don't be surprised. We probably see at least another... here's a rough guess. 15? We keep seeing them being produced. We keep seeing them being accepted. So, hey, it looks nice. I'm all for it. It's just, as a potential thing to cause the pre-existing skins to spike a price, I'm not seeing it. The collection's already doing good. So, all right, more the merrier. More the merrier. Let's go with that. And then we have Jade BAR, the bolt-action rifle. Jade collection's been around for a while, but I don't think many people are even aware it exists. Not to sound mean, but it is an older collection from MDE. Let's go ahead and take a look. Jade weapons. Boom. So the bow's doing alright. Crossbow's a bit questionable, as is the double barrel shotgun, as is the Python. I don't think another weapon skin's going to cause all of that spike in price. Not really. Sorry to say, but it's a weapon-only collection. It's a nice looking collection. Unfortunately, it's not holding up very nicely. So I can't help but sit here and say it's looking pretty doomed. So, yeah. But it would be nice to see a return. And if he does manage to get a return, hey, do you reckon it's... Do you honestly believe that'll be it? I'm sure we'll see a lot more. So, okay, understood. Looks nice. Keep up the good work, Mr. MDE. He is the man, after all. That's behind the Blackout and Whiteout collection. And so, let's now move on to clothing and armour. And immediately you'll see Dominus, Mortis, hoodie and pants. Okay. I'm not saying no to that. That looks cool. That's a freaky looking back piece there though, isn't it? Technically a blackout alternative option, I guess. Alright, cool. Dominus Mortis collection only consists of weapons though. Is that correct? Well, let's confirm. Yes. What happens when it's a weapon-only collection? Uh-oh. But they did try for a garage door. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And now they're trying for clothing. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see tier 2 and tier 3 afterwards. Boots and gloves? Ah, yeah. I'm going to sit here and say that might be pretty interesting to look at. I don't think it's going to cause all of those weapon skins to suddenly go up in price, though. I think that's still a bit questionable. If it started with hoodie and pants and then we got weapons afterwards, I think the weapons probably would have been performing a little bit better. But then after a while, they'll go down regardless. So, I mean, we'll see. It looks nice. I'm looking forward to potentially seeing that getting accepted. Props to skin creators. And keep an eye out. I'm sure they'll be working on the future pieces as well. So, alright, cool. More interesting clothing and armour potentially on the horizon. You were saying? Well, okay, well then. Have you seen my short video showcasing this? Yeah, that is white clothing. Up close, you'll notice the blue. Just a little bit of a distance away. Oh no, that's not blue anymore. That's white. Now, my question was, do you reckon this lines up nicely with like the tier 2 armour? Would it line up nicely with the tier 3 armour? What's that supposed to mean? Well, I mean, the pre-existing skins did come out like years ago. Porcelain. Boom. 2021. 2021. 2021. But then again, look at all the recent Deployables. Oh, wow, they're doing very good. SKS is a bit questionable, but then again, SKSs in general are currently questionable. I think the hoodie and pants would be greatly appreciated. I think they'd be absolutely desired, and I don't think Face Punch will accept. Why? Why? It's white camouflage. You know they won't want to accept it. If they accepted that, well, might want to go get a mortgage. That, honestly, it looks very pretty. It looks very nice. And by all means, consider hopping over to my YouTube. So let's just go over here. Sorry, we're looking at Sandbox earlier, as I said. I'm not joking when I said we're looking at Sandbox earlier. Look, come back to YouTube. There we go. Thank you. Consider watching the recent short videos. You can avoid the scary anime girl. Just look to the left. There he is. I do showcase it in the snow. Briefly, but it quickly showcases it does work. And of course, with the rest of it set, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to work ever so nicely as well. So, okay, cool. I do believe the tier 3, the tier 2, the boots and gloves, all of that, I do believe all of that would spike them on spike a price very, very nicely if that were to appear. And if there was an independent hoodie and pants, that would work out very nicely regardless. That is a very nice looking set. So, props to Vase and Cubist. We have been asking for this for a while. They've done a very nice job of it. Now we question if Face Punch would even consider it. Got to wait to see. Alright, moving on. Accidentally showcased this, but hey, looks nice. Bone Lord. To be honest with you, good timing because Crypt building skin is full of bones. I did ask Robstar to consider like resubmitting his tier 3 for the Fallen collection. Maybe. Oh, it is Robstar. What? I thought it was the other one. Oh my, I've got it wrong. I guess you could say it's a pseudo sort of one. Robstar, I said the Fallen collection. The Fallen collection. That's the one we need the collection continuation for. That's the one we need the tier 3. I thought that was Fuff's collection. Whoops, it's Bone Lord. So what's this called then? Bone Lord. What? Uh-oh. I'm not being stupid, am I? We already have a Bone Lord collection. Oh. Do we have Bone Lord collection? Bone. Oh, wow, okay, I must have got that completely wrong. Well, I mean, I guess you got an extra preview of a pretty cool looking armor set, but whoops. But that's not Fallen collection. And I can't look at Imager things. Sorry. Well, okay, you got a little bonus. That might be a pretty interesting thing to potentially be accepted. What's that? Oh, you know, it just so happens to be the optimized tier 3 armor. Oh. Okay, well, I mean, we did get some white armor back at Christmas time, the most recent Christmas time. was only about a few months ago. God, time's gone quick, hasn't it? Anyway, optimized. We literally only have the Python. We literally only have the Python. That Python, it went down a price. Sold for $3. It's now down to barely over $1. I'm not joking when I said we do have far too many transparent aim sight Pythons now. They are no longer that special. New ones that appear, they go down in price. Well, lo and behold, case in point. I don't know if that tier 3 is going to magically help and save that Python. It'd be nice. And I have seen some very interesting skins being produced by Yui. Like, I like the SAR. I like the AK. They are awesome. They weren't accepted. I'm sad. Hey, we'll see. But doesn't hurt to try. But it might make you cry. So, hey, Yui, best luck to you. Let's see if it works out. Looks fine to me. It's just I don't think they want to do it. We'll see what happens. And then we have the scariest thing that you'll ever see. Right. I ask you, the viewer, genuinely, if it were to be accepted, how much do you reckon that tier 3 armor would sell? If they considered it, how much do you reckon Popstar Tier 3 would sell? Like, come on now, look at it, look at it, look at it. You might potentially be raided by this constantly soon enough. What has become of Rust? It got more fun. Anyway, so I think the face mask probably would sell very, very, very nicely. But it's been a bit debated, and it's been reignited as I started this stream. Maybe they could have removed the eyes. Hey, if it was all cheeks here, maybe. But what is your opinion? Do you prefer it the way it is? Would you prefer it with the eyes? Should the eyes been removed so it's just like cheeks here? Anyway, are you a fan of this? Not to say anime, but would you actually consider this to be an okay addition? Is this Rust? Bye, I don't care. Look at this man. Right. Nathan doesn't want it. Pilch does. The duality of man. One man consume, other man no. But are you a strong man, Nathan? Will you manage to stop yourself from buying it? Or will you still buy 100? I can't help but assume, if this were to be accepted like now, or on the cusp, or the very first Rust of May 2026, would that rise up a price to a pretty silly price around July and August? If we ended up getting a full clothing armor set of Anime Girl, what do you think? It's really silly. And I'm sorry to say, but I was the one who gave him the suggestion. I thought, look, you keep getting skins accepted, Mr. R3. Go for it. Just go for it. See what happens. It'll be funny. And I am finding it funny. But I'm also kind of scared that it actually might happen. With just 2 skins being accepted recently, this just instantly fully recovered. And it's getting a lot more attention. Last week we had the Sheep in the Door. Made a fairly straightforward little video, short video showcasing it. I wouldn't say no to that. I'd be more than happy. Again, what's it to do with Rust? Hazmat, for example, is basically a hazmat mascot. But this, well, I mean, it's just cosmetics. You don't have to wear it. But you will. You will. You're going to sit there and trash talk people outside their base while you're dressed up as an anime girl. You know you will. And you will find it funny. Hey, we'll see. So, will the clan get their appropriate attire? We shall see. But if that gets accepted, all the pre-existing skins would just likely go up in price regardless. Much like when we saw the Jackhammer, much like when we saw the MP5. So, alright, cool. There you go. Feel free to comment below. Out of all the skins that we have just highlighted today, which one was your favourite? Which skins do you think have a very good chance of actually being accepted? We'll give you a nice little showcase on micro522.com right now. Just to quickly point out the top performing skins. So remember, score is all based on Steam Workshop. upvotes versus downvotes versus favourites versus a whole bunch of other things there. Anyway, Space Station Electric Furnace. That's getting a lot of attention. That's got a very high score. Apotheosis of War second with the, well, appropriate score right there. Wrought Iron Table. It was submitted quite early, so it has gotten a pretty good score. But would it still, stay being third? Popstar Face Mask is fourth. And it's not too far off from there. Optimized Metal Chestplate is fifth. And we got like a cardboard scrap, but that's from Bingus. He's never had a skin accepted, so I can't really count him. Porcelain Hoodie. Jet Engine Barbecue. Yeah, I couldn't show off all the skins today. I'm very sorry, but I had limited time. And to be honest with you, 45 minutes, that's fine. If I started to go a little bit funny with my words, I'm sorry. It is late. It's now just past 3 o'clock in the morning. Sorry. So, you know what? Imagine if I recorded this like 5 hours earlier and I only talked about the collection continuations. Do you prefer it this way? I'm asking for feedback. I reckon I probably could have done this in about 30 to 40 minutes if I was a lot more lively. And to be honest with you, if we do have quite a lot of collection continuations, I will be talking a little bit longer. But today, it was a fairly alright amount. Not going to complain. So would you prefer I just do Rust Workshop skin checks like this? I only talk about the collection continuations. I only talk about potential investments. Again, I repeat, you can easily just go through looking at all these skins in your own time. Look, there's the barbecue that we just saw. There's a lot of skins right there. Which of these happens to be your most favourite? Which of these do you reckon has a very good chance of potentially being accepted in an upcoming Rust store? We shall see. And so yeah, that's it. I apologise with regards to that. I honestly thought that was a collection continuation to the weapons we saw after a while. It was a Halloween one, wasn't it? Oh well, it's happening. It's come and gone, Hedge. Don't worry. All right. Anyway, so that's it. That's a wrap. Thank you very much for watching the video. I greatly appreciate it. Let's see what gets accepted. I repeat, this Rust store over to here, there wasn't a single early pick. That might happen again. So consider watching the previous week's video to get potentially a good idea of what might be accepted tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. So once again, catch you later. Say goodbye.